Welcome to our deep dive. Today we're getting into something pretty complex, high stakes really. It's this whole situation in Puerto Rico involving energy, the island's finances, and how it's all being governed.
Yeah, it's a tangled web for sure. And it's not just, about keeping the lights on day to day.
Exactly. It's about fundamental structural change, stuff mandated by the bankruptcy process, actually. And for this deep dive, our main source is a public statement that came out September 28th, 2025. It's from the Financial Oversight and Management Board for Puerto Rico, the FOMB, or the Junta.
Right. And to really get it, you need the backstory. This whole thing, it comes from decades of the public utility, the AEE just collapsing, basically years of severe mismanagement. So big changes weren't just suggested, they became legally required.
And that's the core of the FOMB statement, isn't it? This structural shift, handing over control of the grid, the power plants, everything to private companies.
It's mandated by Puerto Rican law and the AEE's own fiscal plan. It has to happen.
But, okay, here's where it gets tricky. The FOMB statement points out something pretty stark.
Yeah, the gap between the plan and the reality.
Exactly. They state pretty bluntly that reliable electricity, it's still not happening for people there.
Which immediately raises the accountability question. Who's responsible for fixing this?
Well, we know LUMA Energy is running the grid, the transmission and distribution side. And the FOMB is clear. LUMA has to improve its performance substantially.
But here's a really crucial detail, something that I think gets missed sometimes. The actual grid, the power plants themselves, the people of Puerto Rico still own them. Titular ownership.
Okay, titular ownership. So they own the assets, even if someone else operates them.
Precisely. And that ownership is their leverage. It's how they, through their government, can demand accountability. It all comes down to the contract, the operational and management agreement. The OMA.
Right, the OMA. That's the rule book for LUMA. So who enforces it?
That falls to the Puerto Rico Public-Private Partnerships Authority, the AAPP. They're the government entity that actually picked LUMA.
And the FOMB statement mentions the AAPP just identified 6 disputes under that OMA.
Yes, 6 formal disputes. Now, the FOMB is careful here. They state they're not a party to that OMA contract itself. So they aren't taking sides on whether these are, technically disputes or technical disputes under the contract language. That's for the AAPP.
The AATP has to manage the contract they signed. Makes sense.
They picked a LUMA. They have to enforce the deal. These disputes are likely about core performance stuff, like maintenance, maybe investment levels, things like that.
Okay, but then why is the FOMB weighing in at all if it's an AAPP LMA issue under the OMA?
Because it connects directly to the bigger financial picture. The debt restructuring.
You mean the AE bankruptcy case under Title III of PROMESA?
Exactly. PROMESA, the federal law for the whole bankruptcy process. Title III is the court part. The outcome of these sort of operational fights over the OMA, they are directly tied, inextricably linked to sorting out AE's massive debt.
How so? Why does, say, a dispute about maintenance schedules affect billions in debt?
Because the entire proposed solution for the debt, the AEE plan of adjustment, it depends on having private operators running the system competently.
I see. So if the operator, LUMA in this case, isn't performing, or if these disputes show the contract isn't working,
then the whole financial plan can fall apart. The restructuring relies on a functioning, privately managed system. Major operational failures threaten the exit from bankruptcy.
So these OMA disputes suddenly become kind of existential for the Title III case.
Pretty much. And that's why the FOMB cares where these disputes get resolved.
They support using the U.S. District Court in Puerto Rico, right? The same court handling the Title III bankruptcy?
Yes. Keep it all in the venue that understands the massive financial implications. They want to ensure the operational issues don't completely derail the debt solution.
Okay, so wrapping this up, it sounds like stabilizing Puerto Rico's energy future is this constant three-way balancing act. You need LUMA to actually perform operationally. You need the AAPP to enforce the contract.
And you need the FOMB through the Title III court process to land the financial restructuring. All have to work together.
And it's incredibly complex.
It really is. And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. Even with all these layers, private operators like LUMA, the FOMB oversight, the PROMESA law, remember that point about ownership, the people of Puerto Rico still technically own the electric system. So how does that retain public ownership, that ultimate power to hold a private contractor accountable, potentially influence this huge court-driven financial plan, that underlying tension between private operation and public ownership? That's a dynamic that's far from settled.
Welcome to our deep dive.